Hey everybody, it's Stacey with Pageantry now, and it's Sunday, and it's a little bit after 5 o'clock. We were having some technical issues. My fault. I apologize. But we're so happy to be here and to be able to share our little world of pageantry. I've got a super exciting guest who is vying for the quest of the title of Ms. Galaxy. So she's going to be on in just a second and talk about why she does all this crazy thing called pageantry. Pageantry now is all about highlighting what title holders do using a crown and a sash to be able to change their world. So often on TV and social media, you either see the day that they're crowned and the day they give up their crown, but you don't really see what goes on in between, or you see, reality TV, which really doesn't show you what a title holder does because it's a super hard job. And so our job here is to try to help get you into their lives and know a little bit more about them and what they're doing. So, with that being said, you are encouraged. We love the idea of you asking questions. So, ask them in chat. Just make sure that you keep them PG-13. And if we like the question, we will ask them out loud. I do shout outs throughout the show. So, it is an interactive interview. So, please ask questions as you want to. And with that being said, I am going to go ahead and get started. Let me make sure we're in the right. Mike, can you do me a favor? Can you check and make sure it's on pageantry now? All right, and I'm gonna go ahead. Yes, we have like six channels as well. There's people watching, so we must be in the right place. Okay, either that or my gymnastics parents are getting very confused right now. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. And ta-da! She's here.
Hi.
It's the
Hi,
queen.
everyone.
And her name means queen too. Ooh.
It does. Hello, everyone. My name is Regine, your Ms. Galaxy Canada 2020. And as Stacey mentioned, yes, my name does mean queen. And a fun fact, actually. So my full name is Regine Elena. So Elena is my second name. And Elena actually means beautiful. So my name actually means beauty queen.
Are you
Yeah.
serious?
My parents had no idea when they named it to me, but I mean, it just worked out.
Okay, now I have to ask. You look Filipino. Are you part Filipina?
I'm full Filipino, yes.
Mabuhay!
Yes.
It's amazing how much I only know two words, but like how much I started to realize after I met Pia and got to know the Filipino community because of Pia Worsbach.
Mm.
Um, I started to know words, and so you kind of, you can see the features, you can hear something. In the United States, Filipino Americans have a specific sound to their dialect, the way they speak too.
Oh, okay.
You
Um,
don't.
I, I was born and raised here in Toronto. I'm self-taught with the national language of Tagalog, so my accent is not that strong. No.
No, but you don't even have, not even just the accent. Even if I have found first or second generation Filipinos in another country, they still
Mhm.
have it's a pattern to the way you speak. I guess it's kind of because your parents, I'm sure, probably had.
They're both raised in the Philippines, so I'm first generation Filipino Canadian. I think it's certain words that I say where it's very like my Filipino accent kicks in a little bit, but that's also because that's how my parents and my grandparents say it. So I think that might be where it comes from.
Yeah, it's so cool. One of my good friends is Filipina, and she actually is a designer, and so she made one of my favorite
Oh.
gowns. So that, yeah, so she'll be like, sis, and I'm like, wait, you've got to stop using because there's Filipino sayings that I'm like, in the beginning I was like, how do I start to integrate like all of the different words, and because everybody's your
Hmm.
sis,
Yeah.
or everybody's, I don't know if do you guys use auntie too?
Well, it's easier. So being Filipino, so we say tita, which is
Tita,
aunt, or
right.
tito, which is uncle, or ate for someone that's an older sister, or a woman that's older than you but isn't old enough to be your aunt. And then there's kuya, which is the same thing for boys, but brothers. And so if you don't know their names, it's easier to just call them kuya or tito or ate, whatever it might be.
And now people know Filipino,
There you
yeah,
go.
traditions. There you go. All
Yes.
right, so you are. Oh, I just got a comment, and I don't know where it is. Mike, where did the comment? Oh, there it is. Tanya, thanks for being here. Tanya's over in the UK,
Hi.
and she's super, super supportive of us, and she is given Filipino. Flag all the way. So there you go. Um,
Perfect.
Filipinos in the house, yeah. And the problem is, as soon as somebody from one of the other news outlets in the Philippines sees that you're on,
There
they'll
you
start
go.
popping in. So
You're set. There you go.
I don't know. It's more for you, so people hear about you. Okay, so this, so your parents named you beauty queen, but I know in Filipino culture, pageants are real, like
They're huge in the Philippines,
huge.
yeah. Hmm.
So do you think uh that your parents kind of knew that? Oh, Tanya, are you Filipina too? She says proud of Philippine beauty queens.
Well, thank you. I'm proud of all of them too. No, I don't think my parents realized that. So the origin of my name being Regina Lena is my mom wanted to name me something that was still part of Queen of Heaven, so Mary, but she didn't want to name me Maria because everybody else has that name in the Philippines. So she went with Regine rather than Regina because she felt that that would just become a nickname anyway. And then Elena is actually my parents' names combined. So
Oh, there you
yeah,
go.
yeah. They're
Perfect.
probably watching. Hi, mom.
Hi, mom. Hi, dad. Thanks for being here. We appreciate it. And Tanya's Filipina too.
Hi,
So, but
Tanya.
but Tanya, aren't you in? I know you're in the UK. Aren't you in Ireland? Score. I mean, not that that means anything because everybody's from all over. But yeah,
I heard that there are a lot of Filipinos in Ireland. I feel like there's Filipinos everywhere now.
she's a Spanish Filipina living in Ireland.
Wow.
Mabuhay! Now we've got like 12 people watching. See, I told you. As soon as people start to know there's a Filipina in the house, it just goes crazy. So there you go.
It's our Olympics. What can I say?
I know. You guys take it seriously. Which, I mean, not that we don't take it seriously, but it's just so weird that something that started in the United States as a way to be able to promote swimsuits has become such a huge
A huge
cultural,
thing. Yeah.
yeah, all over the world, which I think is pretty phenomenal. All right,
Yeah.
so how long ago did you start competing in pageants?
I started in pageantry 10 years ago. So I started a little bit late. I know a lot of pageant queens have started in the teen division or Little Miss. I actually started at Miss. So I actually started in a local Filipino pageant here in Toronto
There
called
you go.
Miss Philippines PIDC. I won Miss Charity that year. And ever since then, I got the pageant bug and have continued on. I've done pageants such as Miss Earth Ontario, Miss Earth Canada. I've done Canada Top Choice. I've also competed in the Philippines for Mutian Filipinas, where I represented the
Did
Toronto
you
Filipino
really?
community. I did. It was such an experience of a lifetime. There was around 30 or more of us. We were together for a month. We went from hotel to apartment in a bus. We flew across, almost like Canada, flew across the Philippines, and I was able to go to all these different places that I would have never been to if it wasn't for that pageant.
Yeah, well, that's where Catriona started too. Catriona is started in Filipinas. And
So,
I don't
so the
know.
one she
Yeah,
did, it was Bini Bining Pilipinas, but she also did Miss World.
right.
But the pageant I did was called Mutianang Pilipinas, so it's a little bit
A little bit
smaller.
different. Got it.
But this one also has girls from overseas representing their Filipino communities from that country.
Jennifer, Kiki Lockhart says, y'all are so beautiful. We love you. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Jennifer Martin says, hi. She's taking a study break. What is your personal platform?
My personal platform. So I do a lot with children and families, similar to Denise actually. But so my background, so I do event planning, but before that, I actually went to school for child and youth work, as well as early childhood education. And my passion has always been with giving back to the children because I know that kids are the next or our future. They are the next generation, and being able to provide them with whatever I can, whether it be support, mentorship. Um, I, I think that's very important. I also do a lot with the Oakville Air Cadets. So they're our version. What is the Air Cadet version in America?
It's kind of like the Air Force, I think, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
similar to
Okay.
the Air Force, but
Okay.
it is a youth program. So I do a lot with them in the city of Oakville, which is actually where my brothers were cadets. And I just volunteered there. And I started doing that 4 years ago, and I still help them out.
That's fantastic. Wow. And so, so what made you decide that you wanted to do a pageant? Was it something where was it
It was just a random conversation that I had with someone where they're like, you know what, you should consider competing. And I never really thought about it. I was in that awkward high school stage where you know how we all have that glow up. So I was just getting to that point, and I was like, no, maybe not for me. But my aunt, my mom's sister, she actually modeled in the Philippines, and when I spoke to her about it, she goes, yeah, you should do it. And I had all the support from my friends and family, and so I was like, you know what, let's try the first one. Within the first one, which was the Miss Philippines PIDC pageant, a lot of my family from the States came. A lot of my family here in Toronto came, and they were so loud and so hyped. My uncle from Ohio had a cowbell, and you can only imagine how loud that was.
Oh my
Yep.
gosh.
And that was the beginning of what I call Team Regine. It's just my friends and family coming together. We are super loud. I'm sure Cindy and Maria can attest to this. At the Ms. Galaxy Canada 2019 pageant, we had air horns, and it was loud. They
Well,
are
it's
known when they
how
walk
does
into
that
the city.
feel though? Because I when I interviewed Catriona, that was one of the things I asked Catriona. I said, "You've got," because they're loud,
They're so
loud. Like
loud.
for anybody that has never seen or experienced Filipinos at a pageant, it
it's
is.
it's an experience.
And honestly, I love it. Yeah, it was. Cindy says it was loud.
Yes. I had to tell people, like, if you have the air horn, please put it to the ground so it's not in someone's ear. I
Hmm.
apologize for anyone who may have been around them. I apologize.
But
It,
you know what? It's part of the fun. But that was the thing. Did you find that? Do you find that distracting, or do you find that
no,
energizing to hear that
I I
they're
love
there?
it. I absolutely love it. I feed off of the energy in the crowd. The minute I walk on stage and I hear everyone cheering, I'm like, you know, I got this. I start to feel myself a little bit, but that's a good thing when you're competing in a pageant.
Right,
I
right.
totally felt myself, and the confidence just beamed from ear to ear.
Oh, that's so
Yes.
awesome! I love it. Okay. It is like nothing that I had ever experienced, and uh, the first because the first time that I saw it all in action was Miss Universe 2014,
Oh
and
yes.
everybody was trying to get MJ's interview. Like
Mhm.
everybody was on top of her, and I she
She's
came up
stunning.
she came over to me and just
She's
started
stunning.
talking to me, and I was like, okay, let's just interview
Like,
this
what do I
girl.
do?
Like I'm like, and then the following year with Pia,
Oh my goodness.
I was so I was so amazed like at how
Pia's stunning. And she's like, when you see her, like, you feel her aura right away, whether it's on TV, or I can only imagine what it's like in person. The only beanie that I've ever met was Venus Raj
mhm
back in 2013.
mhm
That was actually the first time that was it 2013 or was it 2010? I don't remember. But when Venus Raj went to the
I think it was
Philippines,
2012, wasn't it? No,
whenever it
whatever
was,
it was.
I was actually in the Philippines. So when she had come back being top 5, which was the first time for the Philippines in a very long time, the like, oh, I was so starstruck. I have a picture with her, but she was in heels and I wasn't, so we were like this, and I'm trying to like look up. But hey, I got a picture with her.
That's
She's
awesome.
stunning.
That's me
Yeah.
with all title holders. I say one of my favorite pictures is a picture of me interviewing Catherine Hayek, who is Miss Teen USA
Hmm.
2015, and she is a whole head taller than me,
Oh my goodness.
and I'm literally with the microphone like this, and I looked, I looked at her and I'm like, so are you gonna become Miss USA someday? She goes, I don't know. I've got 5 years before I can. And I was like,
Oh my goodness. You should have been like, can you come down a little bit?
no, because I did. Oh my gosh, one of if you guys want to go back and just laugh at Stacy stuff, I did
Okay.
that with Ashley Graham. So I asked Ashley Graham to come down a little bit and she leaned in. So
Oh
every
no.
guy that saw the video looks at
It was just, got
Ashley's
it.
Bagungas. So there you go.
Okay, don't do that. Just bend your knees. That's all you have to do, women. Don't go forward. Just bend your knees a little
Bend
bit.
your knees. See, they work on those
Yes.
quads. All
Yes. There you go.
right. Crazy. Elizabeth says, "Hey, Queen, how are you?" So,
Hi.
um, Elizabeth Marnock. So, all right.
I
So,
actually,
go
oh,
ahead.
no, I am. So I also have a podcast called The Sit Down on Sundays, and I actually had Liz as a guest. And then on Friday, I was on Liz's Instagram stories with Live with Liz. So this is,
Y'all,
yep.
hook a girl up, man. I'm a title holder, and I don't. It's so funny because every time I go to get on somebody's show, something
Hmm.
happens. So because a pageant project, Adrian, that we've been
Hmm.
planning it, and then we both went, forget it. We'll just wait for another time. There's too much going on in the world, but like now everybody's got time. So, anyways,
Now that we're home, why not?
now that we're not doing anything, we're just doing this. So, what has been, you're going for the title of Galaxy. We've talked about Galaxy quite a lot on the show.
Mhm.
Uh, Tell me of the areas of competition. What's your favorite?
So the competitions of the Ms. division for Galaxy is the interview. You have the swimwear, fashion wear, and evening gown. Out of the four, my favorite, it always changes actually. I love swimwear just because it gives us all the opportunity to show who we are as individuals. And what I do love about Galaxy is they accept everyone from all walks of life, all shapes, all sizes, all nationalities, all colors. And I think that is amazing. So having swimwear for the Ms. and the Mrs. division, I think is phenomenal. I know it might be scary to some, but I just think that it's amazing to embrace your body in that sense. But another favorite of mine is also the evening gown because it becomes more elegant and very regal at that point, and that one's one of my favorites as well.
It's hard for me because like I've been doing this for 37 years, so I bounce around a little bit, but I haven't done swimsuit on stage in a while, so we'll see. We'll
I
see. I
think
mean,
you know what I think the more that you practice in swimwear, the more comfortable you are. And I feel like if you can compete in swimwear and you're confident in your body and you're confident in yourself, girl, you got no problems. When you have clothes on where you have swimwear on, like,
yeah. No, I walked Miami Swim Week the last 2 years, so I figure if I could
that's
walk my,
awesome.
I could be, and I walked for big time. I walked for Ashley Graham, and then I walked for Lane Bryant too. So I'm like, I could probably do okay on stage.
Dude, yeah, you good. You're fine.
But yeah, that's the dream. Maria knows my dream is to do Galaxy. I've wanted to do Galaxy from the very beginning. So
Are
um,
you going to do it?
I I have got to get approval from my doctor.
Got
So
it.
the last pageant that I competed live in, I had some cardiac issues while I was there. So
Oh,
I ended up in
got it.
the ER and kind of almost had a heart attack. So.
Health is more important. Health is definitely more important.
Maria
So
and I have
take
had a
care of yourself.
discussion about, yeah, Maria and I have had, and she knows. I have followed Galaxies since before Galaxy became the live pageant because it used to be an online pageant.
Oh,
Most people don't know that. So, a fun
fun
fact
fact.
for you to know. Anybody competing at internationals might want to know the timeline and where Maria fits on that.
Will do my homework.
Look it up because there you go. And
Yeah.
it's funny because I can't find it anywhere on the Wikipedia or on the website anymore. So I talked to Maria about it
Hmm.
because she doesn't have a timeline of who the queens are, and I think we need to have that. So Maria was
Here.
2004, right, Maria? Yeah, I think 2004. Elizabeth says, Sarah says, hi, Regine. She says, hi.
Hi.
And then Elizabeth says, what are you most looking forward to at internationals?
She asked me this when I was on Live with Liz. I am just excited for the entire thing. I'm excited to meet all the women. I'm excited to just go through the whole experience. So one thing about me, so here's a fun fact for you. I was the first runner up for the Ms. Galaxy Canada 2019. So I've actually been preparing for this title since November 2018. So just to finally get on a plane, whenever it might be, past this coronavirus, and landing in Chicago. I've never been to Chicago, so I'm also excited for that and just to meet everyone. We see everyone on social media, but it's so different seeing them in the
In
flesh, and
person,
that's what
right?
I'm most
Exactly.
excited for. Yeah.
And it's cool. I have been. I think it is like, well, everybody knows it's probably I'm going to say top three pageants. My top four. I mean, I consider Miss Universe, like Miss USA, Miss Teen USA, is the same organization. So that
Hmm.
I love National American Miss, which is an American system, and then I adore Galaxy. So, um, and honestly, it's because of the director, it's because of the queens, it's because of the experience. I don't know if you guys do it in Canada. Cindy, do you guys do white? Do you do a white party too, or no? Do you?
We don't. We do the PJ
Should.
party though.
You need to do the white party too. It's fun. It's fun because it allows you guys to kind of really let and if you have never been to internationals, white party is really one of those rare opportunities where the queens all get together, get to know each other, dance, have fun.
I heard
Everybody's
they
like,
have awesome ice cream.
the, yeah, but they and ice cream was this year that we did that they did that, but just there's always great different stuff to try.
Hmm.
And that you guys let Cindy says you no white party, but you let loose at the PJ party. There
We
you go.
do.
So you get
We
to
really
party
do.
in your PJs.
Yes, we
So,
do. And Cindy is great at getting sponsors. So the last 2 years we've had Boba Boy, so bubble tea. Um,
oh, I love that.
yes.
Yes.
We've had lots and lots of bubble tea, which is my absolute favorite, and I know it's Cindy's, which is probably why she keeps getting them. We've also had this company this year. It was Hollywood Cones, so they brought milkshakes, like really yummy Kit Kat flavored milkshakes, strawberry flavored
Ooh.
milkshakes. It was amazing. And then previously we've had, what do we have? We had chocolates, so little chocolates. It's always fun. She had giant Jenga, giant Connect Four. It's such a great time.
For those people that think that title holders do not eat or drink, you are wrong. It
That
is
is
the
not true. Yeah.
that is not true. There's pizza parties. I mean, it's just like the intent is to try to have a good time, and to really, you don't always get that opportunity to, especially going into pageant, because a lot of times you're
Hmm.
going into, um, you know, eating right, making sure you're doing all the things that are healthy that you're supposed to be doing, and then when you get to a pageant, then you can kind of let loose a little bit and have a good
Hmm.
time. And but I don't know, like I'm one of those people. It's like honestly, I'm not gonna go crazy trying to get myself into a specific size to compete because I feel like
Hmm.
that's doing yourself a disservice. Just my
That was
personal opinion.
no, and that's completely fair. That was something that I actually fought a lot with, going into the Galaxy system, was because growing up doing different pageants, I always thought that I had to be the perfect size. I thought I had to be a 23 waistline and a 00. And it does, yes, that base exactly was
What?
literally what I went through. That is what I went through. I went a year without carbs and sugars, and it was just, it got to the point where I'm actually, now, what is the word? I'm hypoglycemic because of all the things that I had done to my body in the past. And
I did
going
that
back,
too.
yeah, so now going into that Galaxy pageant, it was definitely something that I had to talk with my family and friends and loved ones about, was make sure that I don't fall back into that negative mindset. And so now they're really great at being like, hey, did you eat today? Or hey, did you like, it's become such a great system. And a lot of them are always reminding me, you don't need to be a 00 to look the way that you
Right,
do. And
right.
you know what? That's true. Give me a donut. Give
Live
me
it
more
up,
bubble
man.
tea.
And honestly, like I think that's kind of the misconception that we've had with pageantry for quite a while is that you have to have the
Mhm.
specific look. And uh, I love the fact that Galaxy allows
Definitely.
you to be who you are.
Yes.
For the longest time, even for me, I thought that for Galaxy you had to be, 5'8" or taller, and you had to have, this beautiful body. And I mean, not that you don't have to have a beautiful body, but it's how you describe your beauty. It's not
Yes. Like
necessarily
what
how
is,
somebody
yeah.
else. Exactly. And so I feel so much better having judged now and like seeing it is everybody and seeing people on stage like
Yes.
me, which that to me
Hmm.
was so refreshing, was to see you can be you. It's the best you, and that's who they want to be their
Exactly.
queens. So,
You have everyday women on stage. You're not
right.
23 waistline, 00. It's women of all walks of life. Like I said earlier, all shapes, all sizes. And that's what I really love about the Galaxy system as well.
And even if you are a size 23 waist and a 00.
Good for you.
You're still beautiful. And I mean, and for some
Exactly.
people, that's what their natural is. So the
Exactly.
thing about Galaxy is that you get to be the best of you can be naturally, I think.
Hmm.
So, anyway. All right, we got tons of comments going in. Denise is in the
Oh,
house. Denise is in the house.
hi, Denise.
Yay! All right, so Tanya says, oh wait, there's more. Hold on.
Oh,
So Cindy says she wants a white party to be something that the queens look forward to when you get to international. So that's why. Denise says, "What's your favorite bubble tea flavor?"
my favorite. Oh my goodness. My favorite bubble tea flavor is taro Oreo. Taro Oreo.
Taro Oreo.
Yes.
Why would you put
Yes.
taro with
But it's
Oreo?
delicious. It's so good. Don't
Taro.
knock
My
it till you
husband
try
just
it.
looked over and went,
But
Taro Oreo.
I know it's hard to
Yeah.
come like think about it when you don't try it. But I love taro and I love Oreos. So I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
That seems like a good thing. So I tried it. I liked it. Now I love it. So there you go.
I just stay with like the teas. I do tea and lemon, like regular black tea and lemon. That's like my favorite. But
Mm.
my husband and my sister-in-law love bubble tea, so they try other stuff. I'm in a
Try
very
taro
I
Oreo.
we're gonna have to find one of the trucks when we when when Miami opens back up.
There you go.
When Miami opens back up, because it'll happen
When the
eventually.
world opens up, yeah.
Jeez, this is crazy. Okay, Tanya says, Regine, what advice can you give to a teenage girl who wants to join pageantry?
A teenage, not just to a teenage girl, but anyone that wants to join pageantry, do it. If you have the support from your loved ones and your family and friends, I don't see what's stopping you. I know it can be scary going on stage and having people watch you, but I feel that if you are like, you're confident and you want to try something new, go for it. And you never know, you might be the next Miss Universe or Miss Galaxy.
You never know, and honestly, like and my input for this too is I started in pageants when I was 16. I am on the spectrum with autism, and so it was not something that would have come comfortably for me. My
Hmm.
mom put me in a pageant because I really wanted to be a model, and she thought it might raise my self esteem. 37 years later, I'm still doing it. My
But
first
pageants
pageant,
are
I
a
was
great,
first runner up. It was great.
what I find is pageants are a great way to boost your self confidence. And as a teenager, I know, trust me, I was not confident in high school. I was a girl with the bangs and the braces, like, whew. But I mean, kids nowadays, they don't have to worry about the glow up. They're all beautiful.
Right,
um,
exactly.
and and it's such a great way to be confident, to make friends, to gain skills that you may not gain right away in high school, but you'll gain them on stage. You'll learn how to do interviews, which will help you with your future careers. You'll be able to get headshots for whatever maybe, and it's just a great experience.
Oh, my first photo shoot. How was your first photo shoot?
It was okay. I was wearing a Filipiniana, which is the traditional
Right.
Filipino national outfit with the sleeves. So I feel like it was more awkward with the sleeves, and I had just got my braces off, so I wasn't used to smiling. It was a
It's a learning
disaster.
curve. It is a learning curve. My first photo shoot, I walked to it, which was crazy. Um, and I picked up this kitten that was on the side of the road. So my first photo shoot, there's this little kitten in all of my pictures because it sat
I
on my
mean, it makes you
shoulder.
different.
Like I was like, okay, well, I'll just pretend like I'm kissing the cat. And the guy was like, I've never done a
You're
photo
like,
shoot like this. I'm
you're
like,
like,
yeah,
I just met this cat, but okay.
sure, we'll play with the cat. Like, yeah, whatever. There you
I just wanted to pretend like it was a school photo, that let them tell you what to do.
go. Right.
But hey, practice makes perfect. And I was Miss Photogenic both years for Galaxy, so I can't complain.
Hey, there you go. There you go.
Yes,
Oh my goodness. Congratulations. All right. So
thank you.
Denise also says, oh my gosh, I hear the comments coming in, guys. I can only get to them so fast.
I wish I
Nicole,
could see them.
I know. Well, yeah, and you can't. You'll have to see them later. So Nicole says, wait, Nicole says hi, Regine. So let me get those one. Tara saying hi too.
Hi.
Uh, Jenny Kinsley says hi, Sister Queen from Janice. Uh,
Hi, or Little Miss.
Tanya, oh, your little miss. Tanya says, "Well said, girls."
Thank
Okay, hold on. All right, we'll go back. I got to go back to the questions. All right, so Denise, your sister queen, asks, what do you do to stay positive during this time? Good question.
What do I do to? So for fun fact, for the Ms. Galaxy Canada pageant, what kept me positive was actually Theo, Denise's son. He was backstage with us, and I just kept going back to the Mrs. room. I'm like, Theo. He was just a bundle of joy. But um, if Theo's not there, what keeps me positive is knowing that no matter what happens, I have the love and support from my family. And to know that I've spent 10 years competing in pageants and to finally be at an international level, it's the greatest feeling ever. So all I have to remember is that I have the support behind me, and that's all I can really be grateful for.
Is this your first time going to an international pageant?
Yes.
You're gonna have
Well,
so
I
much fun.
competed well, I competed in the Philippines, but that
Right.
was it was more of an appointed title. So now going and knowing that I worked really hard to be on the Galaxy International stage, it's just more rewarding for me. And I'm so excited.
Even appointed titles are cool. Like it still allows you to have that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a huge
I,
advocate. So
yes. And again, the pageant in the Philippines is a great opportunity and experience of a lifetime that I'll never forget. I've met so many girls who are actually still competing in pageants in the Philippines now. So I'm not complaining either.
and then I think Denise wants to know too, like what are you doing right now? So there's a lot of stuff going on in the world. Obviously, this is kind of a crazy time for us. How are you staying
Mhm.
positive now? What are you doing to stay positive now?
Right now in this state that we're in, what keeps me going is knowing that we're going to get out eventually. We're not going to be cooped up forever. And being able to reach out to Pageantry Now and Live with Liz and having our own podcast on the side, it's great to be able to still interact with everyone and to have that social interaction, whether it be on phone or through Skype. I know my family and I all over the world, we've all been able to video chat as well. And having that interaction with people is what's keeping me positive right now. Because if you're by yourself and you're not talking to anyone, I don't know what's going to happen.
Well, and I think that's one of the things where we're challenged with now is like I know for Miami, even though the state of Florida, so it's like
Hmm.
a province, like you guys have provinces.
Yep.
Ontario is its own province too, right?
Province, yes.
Province, sorry. My husband's like,
Yes, no worries.
so, well, because I grew up in Detroit, so I used to go to Windsor. So for me,
Hmm.
I thought Windsor was just another city in Michigan. I didn't realize it was another
Whole
country.
country.
People are always like, so have you been to another country? I'm like, no. And then my parents would be like, you've gone to Canada. And I'm like, when did I go to
How?
Canada? Like every summer as a kid, you went to Canada? So, anyways. But in Florida, we haven't shut down the entire state of Florida, which
Mhm.
several of the states, I mean, more than 35 of the states have actually done a shutdown. So in Miami, we've been shut down now for a week, almost 2 weeks. Uh, and we decided, like I said earlier, we're doing gymnastics classes. We're doing
Mhm.
gymnastics classes online, so it's something to keep the kids busy, keep us busy. It keeps us seeing our students because I mean, I
Yes.
never thought I'd be doing gymnastics from my living room, but whatever works. Uh,
That's always interesting.
but I mean, and if anybody's bored at 2 o'clock every day, if you go to Imagination Facebook page, your child can do gymnastics with us. We're not charging
Can
for
I
it.
join?
You can. You want to learn? You can.
Yes. Perfect.
We encourage grown-ups to do it too, just because it's something fun and kind of goofy, and it gets you exercising, which you may not,
Exactly.
be. So, anyways, there you go. I'm not trying to plug my program, but it's a
I
new
mean,
way for me to stay positive. Is like besides pageantry
exactly.
now, which I thought was really cool because we use the technology that we use for pageantry now to do the
The
classes, and we have some
gymnastics.
of our students actually on camera doing from all over
Oh,
the
that's
city,
fun.
which is kind of cool. Yeah. Anyways, okay. So, oh my goodness, lots more questions. Okay.
Oh, oh my
Uh,
goodness.
So Nicole says, when did you start doing pageants? So you said 10 years ago, right?
Correct.
You and
10 years ago,
you were like
I,
8, right?
no, 10 years ago, I was 18.
You are not
So
28.
I will be 29 in a month.
No
I'm in
way.
the Ms. division. Yeah.
I know you're in the Ms. division. I get, but I look at you and you seriously, you look very,
Thank
very good.
you.
So one good thing about
Thank you. I get
you,
that often. If
you
I
won't
don't have
age.
makeup on, no, if I don't have makeup on, I look like I'm in the teen division. When I try on dresses, people are like, "Oh, are you looking for a prom dress?" I'm like, "No,
No.
it's okay."
Oh my goodness. All right, so let's see. We got more. Tanya says, "Stay safe, beauties. Thank you. We love you."
You
Uh,
too.
Janice asks, "What area do you think you're strongest in, and which one do you want to improve on?" Great questions, guys.
That is a good question. I can definitely tell you that I'm trying to improve more in interview. I know that is the one of my more weaker areas. I do love to talk. It's just more so. I know I can see it in your face, but I've been practicing. If you saw me the first few pageants, you'll see why. I mean, interview is one of my weaker ones. But doing stuff like this, talking to you and all these other platforms out there that are giving us interviews has actually helped. I do have a pageant coach who also helps with interviews. My favorite or my strongest, I love swimwear. As I've mentioned, I feel the most confident in swimwear and in evening gown as well. But what I love is that with fashion wear, because I've never done a pageant before this that had fashion wear in it, it's so much fun. You get to show your sass and your personality and your outfits and in your walk. I can't answer that question. I love all of them.
Hey, man, as long as you're having fun, that's all that really matters. And that's the thing. I like interview, but just because it didn't start out that way. I was all about the evening
Mhm.
gown, you know. And
Yes.
when and my first system was Miss Teen USA, so I went right into Miss Universe,
Oh wow.
Miss Universe World, which was crazy. Um, and I I I didn't care about it. A swimsuit, it wasn't like one I wanted or hated, but I was like you, really intimidated by interview. I really wasn't
Mhm.
sure that I would be able to communicate well with people. And then I look back now and I go, oh no, it's interview. Like, oh my
I
gosh,
love to
Sheila
talk to
Vaughn.
people. Oh.
Yeah. No, oh, one
I
of my
love to.
friends.
Hi, friend. No, I love it. I love to talk to people. It's just more so making sure that my brain is moving as fast as my mouth. That's it.
That's the hardest part too, is trying to
Yes.
be in the moment and hear what's going on too. So I have
Yep.
that challenge. Sheila Montgomery is on. She is one of my friends. She says it's wonderful to see you online smiling and looking so amazing. Her daughter Shayla is Miss Oregon Teen USA, and so
Oh wow.
but her daughter, I judged her daughter years ago in National American Miss. So it's so nice for me to have that long term relationship going forward. It's
Definitely.
amazing the
Hi,
relationships you
ladies.
get with pageants. So
Oh, for sure.
Denise says that I think Theo loves you too. So there. um,
Happy birthday, Theo. He just turned one.
yeah.
So
Oh my
happy
gosh, I
birthday.
forgot. Like last week, right?
Yes, this past week, yeah, he turned
Yeah.
one.
Happy birthday. Uh, Cindy says there's barely any systems in Canada that offer a full ride to international level pageants. So I think that's with most pageants. There are very few national pageants that actually go on to international systems.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Mm-hmm.
I think it's wonderful to see uh, you have that opportunity. I know with Maria, or even she and I were talking last week, and she said that there are more international title holders now. It used to be just state title holders that would be competing for the Galaxy
Mm-hmm.
crown, and now it's more international title holders than there are.
Philippines has finally made its way to Galaxy.
I
So
know. Oh my gosh, we're in trouble now. We're in
well, what's it?
trouble
No,
now.
no, no, because Canada's got a Filipino on its team too. What are you talking about?
Jenny says the Little Miss and preteen Canada from Windsor. Windsor in the house.
Yes,
Yay!
they are. They
Yeah.
are the cutest. You need to
Is
have
but
them interviewed.
I would let, well, we have to have their parents on in order for them to be interviewed. They've got to be with them to be
Janice
able to.
will love it. Janice,
There you
get
go.
on here.
Yeah, there you go. See, there you go, Janice. We'll work it in. But Janice, tell me in comments, is Bablo still open? If she lives in Windsor, she'll know. So there you go. Oh, Preteen Galaxy is in Windsor. Okay. Ava says, greetings from Texas. Thank you for being on, Ava. Sarah Edmonds says, my parents just came home from Florida a little over a week ago and then are on isolation. And honestly, I we don't know what's going on, so it's so much safer
Hmm.
to do that just for the safety of everybody. Like I got a negative test back, which I had to be
Yeah,
tested.
you were sick recently.
Yeah, I was in the hospital with cardiac issues again, which is pretty typically my role, unfortunately. And I got the negative test results, which was fantastic, but I'm still self
Mhm.
isolating because I'm worried about whether I caught it at the hospital, like because I was in
Mm.
isolation there with other people that had it. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah, because if they think you have it, they put you immediately into isolation.
Yeah,
So,
that's so scary.
that was a
Well,
fun and exciting experience on COVID-19.
oh my goodness, you felt it firsthand.
Well, I worry about all the other people. Like we're seeing such traumatic results. There, one of the people that I interviewed on the show, her mom passed away on Tuesday from
Oh
COVID,
my goodness.
and
Oh
now
my goodness, I'm so
and
sorry
now
to hear.
her father's in the hospital with it. So, Kat, if you're watching, this, sending you lots of love. I know she's been trying to stay on the internet just so that she can stay positive.
Hmm.
But
Sending you
much,
lots of positive energy.
please, please, please. Uh, Sarah says, early happy birthday. Denise says, yes, thank you. Janice says, yay for Canada. And yes,
Got Team
they're
Canada on
sisters.
here.
Oh, you're in, Janice. You'll do it. Okay, great.
There you
Pablo's
go.
not open anymore. Oh, okay. There I know. Now. That's where I used to
There you
hang
go.
out when I was a kid. All right. Oh, Janice says there's $1 million houses on Bablo Island now, but it was my favorite place as a child. See, Janice and I could have a discussion.
You probably have met each other in
And we
passing.
just don't know it.
Exactly.
Ironically, that's not something that's so far fetched because when the EMTs came to pick me up to take me to the hospital 2 weeks ago, the lieutenant of the EMTs, I know him from my gymnastics program.
Well, there you go. Anything is possible.
Yeah.
Small
Anesthesiologist.
world. It's
One
such
of
a
my
small world.
anesthesiologists was one of my students. Weird. All right, Assad. All right, Assad. I appreciate the question. I think we'll ask it. So it says, what do you think about COVID-19 outbreak, and how would you want to tell people to help the government and community, and how is it affecting the pageant scenario?
That's a big question.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's a big question. I think most
Wow.
importantly, let's talk about how it's affected the pageant scenario. So,
Okay, so in terms of the pageant world, as you know, Galaxy has been postponed until possibly October, if not October next summer. So in that fact, that's how it's impacted our system. I know there are still some local pageants here in Ontario that are canceling or postponing as well. I know our pageant, the Canada Galaxy pageant, is still in September. I'm hoping and praying that we will be out of here soon so that that way all of these events can still happen. I know it's also had a huge impact on other events as well. So I am an event planner, so I was actually laid off because no gathering of people, no work for me. So that's definitely how it's impacted me so far, at least. But my thoughts on COVID, it happened. What can we do? There's so much negativity around it, but one thing that, and I said this to Liz on Live with Liz, is it's actually giving us and the earth time to heal. Um,
agreed.
yes, we've put so much pollution there, but now that nobody's driving, not too many people are driving, there's not a lot of airplanes in the going around. We're actually letting the planet heal, which is definitely something that I think we needed. Um, I know some parts of the world. I'm not sure if it's real or not, but I've seen it on social media where they had different countries showing on Google Earth and how different the planet or
Hmm.
that country looks now versus when it did before COVID. So yes, there's a lot of negativity around it, but there's also a lot of positive. We're cleaning our air, we're cleaning our planet, we're letting it heal, and we're actually reconnecting with our family and friends. So I mean, yes,
I
there's
agree.
negative, but there's also positive.
Yeah, well, and I said several weeks ago that the planet will take care of itself.
Yeah.
And if the planet gets to a point where it needs to protect itself, it will.
Like
And I
now.
know that like what's happened in Wuhan in China,
Hmm.
now they're saying that areas that you couldn't even see the sun, now you can see the sun because there's the factories have now closed
The
down.
smog is gone.
The
Yeah.
smog is gone. I know in Italy they said that there's areas of Italy where you couldn't see the bottoms of rivers, and now you can see the
Wow.
rivers, and they're blue. And uh, it has been said that if we as human beings could stop using, just do nothing for one day, that would give the planet enough time to reset the ozone and try to protect it. So I think the planet's decided we're going to take that and do that.
Mhm. Just
And
think
I,
about it. If you stay inside, if you cooperate and you listen to what people are saying, stay indoors, only go out when you really need to, like do groceries or whatever, you'll be out by summer. And it'll be so much more nicer outside. You won't, just stay inside, people.
except here in Miami where it's already 90 degrees.
Well, I'm in Canada,
I
so.
know, right? Well, and I know, like in Michigan, like when I lived in Michigan, summer hit. You started to do shorts at like well,
Yeah,
April-ish, May-ish. So yeah, because it was 40 degrees and not below zero.
there you go.
So, all right. Uh, and then Assad said, "Thank you, Regine." All right. So, gosh, so many questions. People are interactive. I love it. All right. So I'm going to ask you our questions. So I have.
There's more questions? No, I'm kidding.
There's more with my questions. I mean, we're asking questions of everybody else, which I think is great. It's Assad. It's true, right? It's true. It's so all we have to do is stay in and take care of ourselves, and the planet will start to reset. And I think that we
Hmm.
need that. The planet has done so much for us that we should at least be kind enough to give back to her, right?
Exactly.
All right. So the questions I'm going to ask you, I've got 10 of them. I know we've already gone more than half an hour, so. Um, 47 minutes. We're gonna have to try to make this fast. I told you it never goes an hour. Never.
No worries.
Uh,
I'm not going anywhere. It's fine.
as long as we're not pushed, we don't have any appointments to do or anything, we're okay. Um, so these questions actually started in France. They were designed by psychiatrists and psychologists. They were featured on Inside the Actor's Studio, which is a TV show that was here in the United States for over 30 years. The intent is to try to get to know you and what
Okay.
makes you tick. So,
Oh boy.
I know, I know. So
You sure you want
answer
to ask these
them.
questions?
They're not bad. So one of them is bad, but we don't say the word. It's not
Oh boy.
bad. It's okay. Answer them as best as you can. So, what is your favorite word and why?
My favorite word is family because without family, you don't have anything.
That's true.
And my family's been so supportive of everything that I've done. So to me, family is my favorite word.
That is a great word to have. So I love that. So what is your least favorite word and why?
Can't
Oh,
because it
that's a
because
pageant
it
one for sure.
no, but it's not just a pageant word. It's just I I had a lot of self doubt. Like I can't do this. I can't do that. I'm not good at math. I can't do this math equation. But it wasn't until my family and loved ones came around and like, you know what? Stop saying can't because you're just limiting yourself.
Right.
And so there you, I
And
can't.
no, that's in my gymnastics program. If my students say can't,
I can't do
we
it.
exactly we don't, and we tell them it's not can't. I can do it, but I need help. I can do it, but that
Hmm.
scares me. I can do it, but I'm not sure how. But if they say can't, when the older classes, we actually start to work together and we do, you know, push-ups and we do sit-ups and
Hmm.
we do so that they understand. Yes, you can do it, but if you're not going to try, we're
Yeah.
going to make you do something you can't. So there you go.
There you go.
Yeah. It's to hopefully get them to understand that, especially because kids don't have that verbiage. They're told
Hmm.
you either do it or you don't do it. So,
Hmm.
so trying to have them have the acceptance it's okay to ask for help is really,
Yes.
it's really hard. I think as human beings to ask for help too. So,
Mhm.
all right, what turns you on creatively, spiritually, or emotionally?
It's a good question. Colors. I love colors. I love colors and anything that sparkles, hence the crown and
I
my
was gonna
water
say, and every
bottle.
time you
And my
move,
water bottle.
yeah, every time you move, you catch the glitter of the crowd. So
I
it's
know,
like
I
you see the
noticed that
sparkles in it.
earlier.
So it's good. I was like, that's so cool.
Anything that sparkles, anything that's colorful really brings so much joy and positivity in my life.
Is there a favorite color?
Pink.
Really? What color is your
Hence the
family?
outfit.
I was like, you're in pink. I'm in purple. This is my favorite. So.
I love pink. I love pink. I love rose gold. Pink.
Ooh, and so the new crown you're gonna like because it's kind of got that rose goldish kind of color to
Yes,
it, right?
yes. I can't wait to get it.
The old one is beautiful, but the new one I'm kind of jealous. And
I
then
mean,
the
once you
big
get to
one,
do it,
the international one. Oh, you guys
oh my
haven't
gosh,
seen it,
it's
have you? Oh,
stunning.
yes, you have.
It's stunning. I've seen crystals in person, so oh, it's stunning.
It's taller than she is, like taller than her head. I the
It's
first time
probably taller than our little miss.
well the very first Miss not MEMS MISS Galaxy
Hmm.
was 4'11".
Oh.
Actually, she may have been about 5 feet, but she's tiny, tiny, tiny.
Hmm.
And that crown was like, yeah. I was like, she's fucking like, how does it not tip you over? But
Hey,
anyway,
you worked for it, you wear it.
she wore it all the time, everywhere. So yeah,
There
the
you go.
international Janice says the international crown is amazing. It really is. It's stunning.
Hmm.
So, all right, what turns you off creatively, spiritually, or emotionally?
Negativity. If I feel that there's a negative vibe, I step away from it. If or I try to put a positive twist to it. Being around negative people that I was like, oh, I can't do this, or no, don't do that, or whatever. That's definitely something that I'm like, you know what, I need to step back, either figure a way to make it positive or step away from the situation completely.
Have you ever experienced negativity in pageantry?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Growing up in pageants, I've definitely heard it all. Where you're too skinny, or you're too big, or you're too dark. Being Filipino, you're too this or
I
too
think
that.
your skin is gorgeous, by the way. I was like,
Thank you,
just
thank
saying.
you. But it wasn't always like that. I'm sure you're aware that in some parts of the Philippines, being light skinned is beautiful. But and I was told that. I was told, you know what, you need to lighten your skin, or you should consider lightening your skin, or you should consider changing your teeth because I have a gummy smile. I have more
Yeah,
gum. It's not even.
I do
Um,
too. Mine got fixed. Yes.
yeah, so people were telling me like you should really fix that, or get veneers and fix your teeth. And I was like, you know what? If I listened to what everyone was saying and I internalized it, and I was like, you know what, maybe you're right, maybe I should lighten my skin, maybe I should fix my teeth, then I wouldn't be who I am authentically.
Right.
And that's something that I was like, nope, nope, nope. Like I took myself out of that situation and just worked on myself, and I'm happy about my skin and my gummy smile.
I look back at because my first major title I won in Texas and got similar feedback. I had to change my
Hmm.
teeth. I had to change my hair. So my hair is naturally red. They told me I had to color my hair, so I colored my hair
Why?
to brown because they said I would never win I would never win a national pageant if I had red hair.
No, that's not fair.
It's all right. I have proven that all wrong. You know, I had the
Hmm.
tan. Like I look back and I go, oh my gosh, like how tan did I have to be? Which
Hmm.
I found some of my old makeup the other day and I actually put it on and I didn't realize it was my old makeup and I went,
Oh.
oh my goodness.
Well, when I competed in the Philippines, being the tan color that I am, some of the makeup artists didn't have this color. And I look back at photos and I'm like pasty white because it was not my skin color. They made me the color that they wanted to make me. And it was like flash feedback. Terrible.
Right.
Terrible.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. Shouldn't be that way. We should be
No,
able to be who we are and enjoy who we are
exactly.
and love who we are, which I think that's been one of the biggest challenges for I say for women, but I know men experience as well. They just
Hmm.
don't verbalize it as well. But
Hmm.
body image, positive body image, body acceptance, learning to look at yourself in the mirror and say, I love who I am,
Hmm.
is something that we should be striving for. So, in the midst of all of this chaos that's going on right now, spending a little bit of me time is a good
Yes.
thing to be able to kind of be introflective. And I think it's hard with social media because we're constantly comparing ourselves to maybe what we think everybody's perfect is, but your
Hmm.
perfect is you.
Exactly. It took some time, but I got there.
But your perfect is you, whatever that is. And then for me too, I
Hmm.
had to go through it as well. So, um, all right, good. So you don't have to answer the word, but what is your favorite curse word? You can just give me the initial.
Oh boy. I don't know. I don't know if I have a favorite. I try not to. Um, I don't know. I don't think I have one.
My favorite, well, around kids and in pageant settings, it's poop fritters. My other one is mariposa, which means butterfly, so it's like not even bad.
But I mean,
Uh,
it just sounds like
it
you're
just
angry.
sounds, yeah, I know. But my students know when I start speaking in Spanish, it's all
They're
over
like,
there. Miss Stacy's
uh-oh,
mad. Yeah, they don't even know. And when I first said it, one of my French students said, Miss Stacy, that means butterfly. And I'm
butterfly.
like, yes, I know what it means, but it sounds bad. So that's
There
how
you
you.
go. I
What
don't
is
think
it?
I have a favorite.
You don't have any exclamation that you use, like
It depends on how I feel. Like, it depends on the situation and what comes out. And I try not to as much as I can. And if I did, my mom would be like, "What you
yeah, no, I
say?"
know. I was like, it's very much against Filipino culture to say
And I
bad
know my
words.
mom's
So
listening, so I
hi,
probably shouldn't.
Mom. So sorry. Which is why I said you don't have to say the word. Just that's what my husband said. There's something bad in this, but that's the bad question. So,
Oh,
but
okay.
I
Whew.
think it's quirky because they have been able to studies have been able to prove that people that curse actually have a higher ability to speak and a higher IQ because they're
I mean, you can
they're
ask my fiance. He's a potty mouth, so that might be true because he's got a high IQ. I don't know.
yeah. He's looking at you going, wait, really? Thanks. Okay, there you go. Good. All right. What sound or noise do you love?
A baby's laugh. Any baby that chuckles and laughs, like I get all giddy and ugh, my day has been made.
I agree. Kids, I love laughter just in general, but
Mhm.
there's something special about, you know,
The
I think
innocence of a child's laugh. It's just it's funny.
right, exactly. So
It's pure joy.
and they don't stop themselves. So like it's
Hmm.
real. It's a real true laugh. Sometimes you get people that kind of have this fake laugh. Theirs are no,
It's like ha ha
yeah, unless they're making fun of me, in which case sometimes
ha.
because I deal with little kids, so like that's my
Yes.
whole world is they.
Well, I did ECE as well, early childhood
Oh yeah, that's right.
education.
So you got yeah,
So
so we've got the same background from that
yes.
standpoint. So yeah, and they. But that's the thing too is they're not afraid to be themselves, which I think is so
No.
sad that
And if
as
they
people
don't
get
like
older, they stop.
anything,
Exactly.
yeah,
Baby giggles are the best, Janice says. It's true. It's
they
true.
are.
All right. So, what sound or noise do you hate?
Um, Silence. I don't like silence because that's when you start to get into your head. And I know I just had like an awkward silence there. I apologize.
No, don't apologize.
It's just I don't know. Sometimes like yes, sometimes silence can be good, but what silence for me is like that's when I start to get in my head and I start to overthink and I'm like no, no, no. Unless I'm sleeping, then that's the only time I like silence.
There you go.
Yeah.
I agree. The other one I don't like. I don't like silence, and I don't like kids crying.
Like a
Like hearing a
painful
kid's
cry.
cry, it's just like
Yeah.
every part of me goes, wait, make it stop.
Hmm. Yeah.
So, but that's just because, again, I work with kids, so that's my thing. All right. So, what profession other than your own, would you like to attempt?
So again, I did child and youth work, and then I did early childhood, and now I'm an event planner. So I've took a few. Fun. Here's a funny story. Growing up, I wanted to be a bus driver, but I don't
Wait,
drive
a
now.
bus driver? Seriously?
When I was 4, I told my mom I wanted to be a bus driver. Don't ask why. I just did.
I
But
just wanted to
uh,
ride a bus. I didn't ride a bus until I was in high school. So that because I walked to
no,
school.
I wanted to be a bus driver. I don't know why. But if I could have any profession now, maybe a chef. I really got into cooking and baking lately, and I would love to just step into culinary and see what that would be like.
I'm gonna tell you that it sounds really magical, but it is not.
But it's not. I
My
mean,
husband, my husband is a classically trained chef, and he now teaches
oh,
gymnastics.
well, I mean, you asked the
I know,
question.
I asked you. I know. Sarah Edmonds says she's a piano teacher and a bus driver. Sarah,
Oh, there you
multi-talented.
go.
See, is it fun being a
There
bus
you
driver? I would think it's still working with kids, unless you're driving the big city buses, and that's got to be. I would think that's got to be pretty interesting, though.
I want to be a school bus driver, just to clarify, not a city bus driver.
I, I still think it would be interesting because you get to hear all the conversations that you don't think
Hmm.
you're hearing.
All the gossip and
See,
who's
I
friends
could
with
see
who.
exactly. There you go. All right. So what? But anyway, so my husband was a classically trained chef, and now he teaches gymnastics. I know you still are, but you're not. You don't cook anymore. You still cook for us. You don't cook professionally.
I don't know. I think it's just something that, like, I know my stepdad, he also wanted to be a chef, but he's a great cook, for family cook. And I know it's rewarding to see everyone's face smile after, because you can either have food that people love and then food people hate. And you don't want to see that side. So I don't know. I think it'd be interesting to be a chef for a day.
Honestly, it's really really cool, but it's really stressful. Like I worked.
As long as I don't have to clean up afterwards.
And the great thing about being chef is you don't,
You don't.
which is why being the wife of a chef is very
uh,
complicated
Got it.
because he's used to having someone do the dishes, do the cleanup, handle all of that stuff. So the first time he cooked for us, he made like spaghetti and meat sauce, and it was like six
Oh,
pans,
it went
and I was like,
everywhere.
"Why are there so many pans?"
Hmm.
And he says, because you have to saute, and he follows the steps. And I'm like, no, we have a kitchen the size of a bathroom. There's no space for this. So anyway,
I'm sure it was delicious though.
it was. He's
Okay.
my brother actually had his cooking before I ever did. So
Oh wow. Well, there you
anyway,
go.
because my husband
Brownie
used to
points.
be, yeah. I don't. Did you even know Scott was my brother when you served him, or it was just at one of the events, right? Oh, that's true. He wasn't a server. He just served food. Sorry. Okay. Anyways. Digress. I apologize.
No worries.
Okay, so what profession would you not like to do?
Uh,
Sorry,
uh,
everybody. That was my fault for digressing.
would I not want a bus driver?
Now you don't want to be a bus
Uh, I
driver?
don't drive. I don't have my license. So I mean,
What? Why
that's a
don't you have a
problem.
license? Just because you just don't have any
I've
interest in
always
it?
I've always lived close to the subway, or not subway, the our public transit here. So it was easy for me to jump on and off the train when I had to. But I'm working on it. I am working on it, but I still would not want to be a bus driver.
Yeah. I will tell you this: if you were to drive like here in Miami, you would
Hmm.
learn very quickly what your favorite curse word is.
Maybe that's why.
I have my husband will not let me drive because I sound like I am
Like a
probably
trucker.
mhm,
Got it.
He's afraid I'm going to stroke out because I get so stressed out when I drive.
When I get my license and start driving, I'll let you know what my favorite curse word is.
Okay, there we go. Perfect. And we won't let your mom know. There you go.
There you go.
All right. And the last question is, if of the 10, if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say to you when you arrive at the pearly gates?
What took you
So
so long? No, I'm just kidding.
I
I'm
said
kidding.
the same thing. What took you so long?
Or it's about time. I don't know. I'd like him to say, welcome. Welcome home. You made it.
Back to the place where you were supposed to be back in the
Exactly.
oh, there you go. I think the questions are good because they kind of got into a little bit of not your
It's not
typical.
your typical interview
Exactly.
questions. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, so let's see. We've got a couple. So Sarah Kenzie says, "Ooh, being a bus driver would be fun. Vroom vroom." Sarah says, "Oh, the school bus. She loves the kids. It's never short on stories."
That's
So
true.
see. So there you go. Um, and Kenzie says her stepbrother went to school to be a chef, and he changed it to be a lawyer instead.
That is two completely
That
different
is two
jobs.
totally different words.
Yeah.
So Kenzie says in response to Mike making spaghetti, she says, "You boil the noodles, you brown the meat, you dump the red sauce in, and it's 2 pans, maybe." Oh, you and Kenzie are gonna have words later,
But
Mikey.
I mean, if Mike is making fresh pasta sauce, like with the tomatoes, crushing the tomatoes and the mushroom, if he adds mushrooms, I mean,
That was exactly it. So that yeah,
there
it's
you
not,
go.
and it's a process. There is a real. I mean, there is a real process to it.
Like
So
I see those one pan meals, I'm like, no, I can't do one pan meal.
no, he doesn't either. I mean, he's better
No.
at it now. So Janice says driving in Detroit will teach you those words too. Yes, they will.
So will Toronto, but I mean, I
That
hear
will.
it as a passenger.
Yes. Anyways, Scott Dion Brown says, "I am Team Regine."
So
Is
Scott,
that your fiance?
no,
No.
no, 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 no. Scott is actually the person that I do the podcast with. So it's
Oh,
the sit
cool.
down with Scott Dion Brown. Yeah. So.
Hi, Scott. How are you? Thanks for being here. We appreciate it. Oh, Kenzie's gonna ask you her hard questions. She hasn't been on, so
Uh-oh.
she's asking you. Ready? She
I'm
asks harder
scared.
questions than I do. It's not.
Uh-oh.
It's a hard question because uh, if you could add any word to the dictionary that isn't there already, what would it
Oh
be and
my
why?
goodness.
I told you.
I don't know. I don't see. Here's my thing. I use words that are English, and then I use words that are Filipino, and then I use words that are Taglish. So depending on how I feel, certain words come out. If I were to put a word in the dictionary, I probably haven't created it yet, but when I do, I'll let you know.
There you go. But I would think that there are some words that like are Filipino words that are not in the the English dictionary. So
Some of them are. Some of them are. I know the word gigil. It has now made its way into maybe
what does
not
gigil
the.
mean?
It's like a feeling. It's like you when you hear a baby laugh, you know how you're like, oh, that's gigil. It's an emotion. It's a feeling that it's a giddy
So
feeling that you feel.
is it kind of
Yeah.
like goose pimples we say here in the United
N-
States goose? No,
no, I think it's more maybe it's like when you see a baby that's super cute,
right.
or a couple in a movie that you knew are destined for each other and they're finally together and you're like, oh, that's Google.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Maybe that's a word that I would put if it wasn't already there.
It's already there. That's a good one. I like that one. Emotions.
There you go. Yes.
Scott says he's good. Thank you. Rebecca Everson says hello, Stacy. Hello, Regine. Hello, everybody. Thanks for being
Hi.
here. So, all right. And then my question that the first time I asked it live in an interview was to Queen Pia.
Oh,
The pressure's on. So,
no
do
pressure.
you do you like frogs? Why or why not?
Do I like frogs? I am not an animal person. I like cartoon animals. So do I like frogs? I like cartoon frogs like Keroppi. Is there any other frogs? Kermit the Frog.
Kermit the Frog.
Yes. I like characters more than I like actual animals. I know my stepmom collects frogs, like anything frog like, frog statues, frog pictures, stuffed frogs, anything frog, she has. Me, I'm more of
Really?
the cartoon side.
There you go.
Do you like
That's so fun.
frogs?
I love frogs. But
Okay.
I like I don't collect them or anything. Everybody asks me that it actually it started as a viewer asked the question, and we used it as like a warm up question for people.
Got it.
And then the first time I asked it, I was doing a live with Pia, and they asked the question, and Pia's reaction was so. If you
Does she
go
like
back and
frogs?
she does not like frogs. So
Okay.
I asked her the question. She goes, "No." She goes, "In the Philippines, when I was growing up, you take your shoes off when you get to the front door at night before you go in the house." And she goes, "So when I got up in the morning, I put my shoes
Oh
on. A
no, there
frog
was a
had jumped in my
frog.
see."
I'm not an animal person. I just recently visited the Philippines, actually, in the very beginning of this corona outbreak in February. So seeing all the lizards and no, thank you.
No, thank you. Oh my
No,
goodness.
thank you.
Oh, Scott says he's trying to get Regine to like dogs. So not dogs either. No animals at all.
I I'm scared of animals. I don't know where this fear came from. Scott's family, so we do the sit down every Sunday, and Scott's family has this huge husky, like massive, like it'll sit on your lap and you're stuck there, and that's exactly what happened. But I think his name is Cujo. I think he senses my fear,
Yes.
so he, like, the minute I walk in, he just stands, right? Like, say this is the dog. He stands this close to me, making, like, trying to see if I'll, like, do anything. Like, I'll pet him, I'll talk to him. I'm like, can you move now? Like, and like my family, they all have dogs, and they're all like, come on, Regina, just pet the dog. If I know that there's a dog there, I will mentally prepare myself. I do not like cats. I'm actually allergic to them, so no cats for me. Um, Dogs, I'm getting a hang of them. I know my fiance wants a dog, so that's something that I have to work on. But if I don't know that there's a dog and there's a dog there, whoo, no, no, no.
I bet as an event planner, your wedding is going to be awesome. When are you guys getting married?
July 2022. So the Galaxy pageant first, and then Cindy even
Oh, and
said,
then you can do
"Girl,
Mrs.
yeah, I don't know, maybe. I don't know, but you got me on that one." Cindy's all like, Regine, the pageant is coming up. I'm expecting a crown. So that's another year with Maria. So that's 2 years. So then after that would be the wedding.
There you go. That's
Yes.
cool. I think it's good. At least you've got a lot of time to plan because I know my director for my pageant is an event planner, and like our whole world is just kind of like changed
I
overnight.
I love it. Now that Corona has happened, I have time to look at wedding stuff and pageant stuff. It's a lot of fun.
Cool. All right, we've talked a lot. Is there anything that you would like to share with everybody that we haven't talked about yet?
I feel like I'm an open book. Anything that you've asked, I've been honest about them, even about the dogs. But if you guys do want to follow me on my social media, you are more than welcome to. I know that Pageantry now has tagged me on their Instagram already, so you can find my handles there. And please stay safe. Um, please stay inside. Do not go outside right now unless you really, really need to. And if you want to get some air, go for a walk. But please listen to what people are telling you right now. Again, summer's coming up. I know where you're at in Miami. It's summer all year round. But for us here in Toronto and Ontario and Canada, summer is coming soon. So stay in so we can enjoy the summer all together.
Absolutely. And honestly, like just to add some numbers to it, um, the typical flu, if you had the flu and you went out and you interacted with 10 people,
Mm-hmm.
those 10 people would be able to infect 59, no, 59 people.
Wow.
59 people. Uh-oh, Mike is going to describe it. Mike, go ahead, say it. Right, right. So through the course of, if you guys, can you guys hear Michael?
No.
Okay. So if you were to go out with, if you had the flu infects like 1.5 people. So if you would be able essentially to infect 10 people, which would roughly come, and not even just one person. So it would be 57 people that you would infect. With this, it is 3 times faster than that. So if you go out and you come in contact with one person, it's 59,000 people that you infect.
Jeez. Stay inside.
Stay inside. Seriously. And
Yes.
honestly, I know it's hard, everybody, but we will be safer. We have to get this under control so that we can at least stop the spread of it, so that we can go out, enjoy the outside, enjoy the world, and then hopefully
Yes.
give the scientists an opportunity to catch up, because this has gone so quickly that that's where the challenge is. So,
Hmm.
um, thanks for being on. I appreciate it, and I appreciate another Galaxy girl being in the house. Yay!
Thank you for having me. I know it's amazing to see how much support Galaxy gets from all realms of, whether it be through Pageantry Now, Live with Liz, anywhere it might be. I know on the sit down we have Galaxy girls on all the time. So it's so nice to see everyone supporting each other. But thank you so much, Stacey, for having me.
My
I do
pleasure.
hope. I hope you feel better soon. And I also wanted to say I love how you spell your name.
Thank you. I
You're
love
welcome.
Regine, so it's one of my favorite names, for the
Well, thank
standpoint
you.
of, I know it means queen. So you're
now you
queen. You're
know.
queen. Of,
Now you
you're
know
queen.
my name is Beauty Queen. So
That's so cool, though. I mean, you gotta admit that is really cool, right?
it is. It is. When I did the research, I was like, oh, well, what do you know?
You were meant to have a crown and a sash, changing your world.
There you go.
Awesome. Well, thanks for being on. I appreciate it. And
Thank
hold
you for
tight.
having
I'm going to
me.
close out the show, and then I'll talk
Bye,
to you guys in a second.
everyone.
All right. Thanks everybody for being on. Now I'm in my living room where I'm not in my office in the studio. So thanks for being part of my world today. Kenzie says hashtag flatten the curve. Yes, please. Kenzie also says stay inside, stay safe, go out only when it's necessary, wash your hands. I know it's crazy that we have to say these things, but please make our planet a safer planet. Just hold tight, guys. I live in Miami where 14 days in a hurricane is, without power, without water, without food. We don't have that challenge right now. You guys are safe. Stay inside where it's safe so that we can flatten the curve. Thanks everybody for being part of our world. We really appreciate it. We need more of this. I say it every time. Be kind to one another. Ellen DeGeneres has the right idea. She's staying inside and calling her friends and doing interviews on her phone instead of doing them on the show. So she keeps her audience safe. But we're doing it from our living room. So thanks so much. We appreciate it. If you haven't already, please like us here. Endless naps, Kenzie says. Oh, yes, endless naps. So if you haven't already, like us here, follow us on Instagram, and then also subscribe to us on YouTube at Pageantry Now. We've got different interviews on all of them, and we've got Instagram interviews that are going on almost daily now. Fatima's doing them. So thanks so much for being here, guys. We really, really appreciate it, and I will see you next time. Bye. That's a wrap.